Story Old Jackal and Young Baboon. "Oh, Ta," said the eldest boy the next evening, as they waited at the kraal for the coming of the cows to the milking, "you never told us what old Baboon said to old Wolf that time when he stopped running away from old Jackals at last." "No," replied old Hendrik, with a droll leer. "An' I'd haddo be a mighty sight smarter dan I ever members bein' if I was to tell you dat." For when Wolf stopped at last, den Baboon just looked at him. Just stopped and looked and untied his tail and crawled off. "As you, Daddy S's, not a word, not a sound. Not a whisper of a noise," said he. Baboon just saved it all up so he can tink it all over every time he see Wolf agin. It'll last him longer dat way. So then he went home and put poultices on his tail, I suppose," suggested Annie, impatient for every detail of the tale that must lie in the curing of that tail. "Well, I dunno about no poultices on no tails," returned Hendrik. "But a day or two otter dat, Jackals was a slinkin' and a sloppin' along de koppies, and just as he come under a mispel tree and tink he's gone to have a rest and a look round, he gets a smack in de ribses wid one stone, biff. An anader smack on de roots de tail wid anader, bash. An kleinkies, you should just a seen him streak it out range dat ol' mispel tree. Den he stop and he look back, and dar he see Liliki Baboon, Baboon's young son, a showin' his head and shoulders out de leaves de mispel, and a yarkin' and a barkin' at him. Mighty smart you tinks you is, don't you?" snarls Liliki. "But I'll teach you to try tricks on de Baboons," says he. When Jackals see it's dat young squirt, he gets dat mad he feel like bitten a chunk out de biggest stone he can reach. But he knows he ain't a gun to get even wid young Liliki, less'n he soft, soap him down. So he just grins like he is mighty astonish, and rubs his ribses like dey's sore as Billy O. "Well, says he, what tricks is I ever played on you?" "None," says Liliki. "You bet you didn't. I's too smart for no sich a fathead as you to play tricks on me. But you played one on my old daddy, and I dropped in for it a lot worse true him." "How's dat?" ax Jackals, just a squirmin' like he can't keep still for his ribs I hurtin' him. "Why, you rakes Wolf till he can't stand no more you, and den he gets my daddy to heap him. And my ol' daddy comes back wid his tail dat busted dat he can't ani just sit and nurse it and growl. And when he feel bad he always wants gum, and he send me and my broder up de trees to get it. Den if I eats a bit myself, de old daddy he shambok me till I has to fair yell enough to make him tink he's killin' me, for he'll stop. Dat's how. So all's de matter wid you is you has to give up de gum dat you picks, is it?" Says Jackals. "Dat's it, and de shambokins for eatin' de leetle teenty bits I puts in my mouth," says Liliki. "Well, you is a nice says Jackals, a sneerin' like. Why, if dat was me, I'd eat all de gum I picked and still give de old daddy all he wanted as well. I heerd you say you was mighty smart, but otter dat, well, I'd be ashamed myself if I wasn't smarter dan dat." De way Jackals stick his nose up fair rile Liliki. "Yees," says he. "I hear you talk a lot, but I bet you can show me how dat's done. And I bet I can neither, not as soft as dat, says Jackals. You don't get me as cheap as dat. But I'll tell you what I'll do. You come here tomorrow and you bring me some gum, nice clear gum, and den I'll tell you how to do, so's you'll have all de gum you wants for yourself, and leave all de shambakins to your broder. Shambakins to my broder, sings out Liliki. Oh, dat's de right tip. You come, and I'll be here wid de gum, don't forget. I won't, says Jackals, and off he go, a winkin' to every bush as he pass it. Well, come next day, dear was young Liliki up in de mispel tree, and dear was Jackals at de foot of it lookin' up. Now, what's dis game you's goin' to tell me? Says Liliki. Where's de gum first? Says Jackals. Here's it, says Liliki, showin' it. Let's hear de plan now. Ho! You gi'e me de gum first so's I'll know it's good gum, says Jackals. Oh, I'll soon show you dat, says Liliki. See me, and he bite off a big piece de gum, and he smacks wid his mouth like an ox team pullin' its feets out deep mud. Dat rile Jackals turble. Ho! Yay, shout he. What's you a-eatin' up my gum for? 'Cause you says it ain't good. I's yust a showin' you how good it is, says Liliki, rollin' his eyes at de rest of it. Sides, it ain't you gum till you tells me dis plan you bargained to, yestiday. Ain't I likely to tell you, 'fore I gets de gum? Says Jackals, like he'd like to catch hisself doin' any sich a fool trick. And ain't I likely to let you have dis gum, 'fore you's told me de trick? Says Liliki leerin'. Ho, dat's de game, is it? Den I tink I'd better go 'long and find you, broder. He won't want to cheat me, says Jackals, and he make as if he's a gun, to slope right off out dat. He tinks dat's gun, to fetch young Liliki to time. But, dat's all right, says Liliki. I can knock de pips off him any day, and make him tell me too. You go on, and den I'll have dis gum to myself. Dat's so much ahead anyhow. Jackals stops, and his eye look sort longin'. Den you ain't a gun, to trust me? Says he, as if dat's de last word he's gun to say. Look a higher, Jackals, says Liliki. I has dis gum already. I can see it, and I knows it's good. But I hasn't got what you wants to give it, and I can't see it, and I don't know if it's good. So I tink I'll make sure o' what I has, says he, openin' his mouth wide and lettin' his tongue flop up and down, while he holds de gum a little way off his eye wid de one hand and rub his tummy wid de odor. Yum, 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 says he. Well, says Jackals, as if he yust couldn't heap it. You is a bright sort, you is, by de Jiminy. Young Liliki he grin back like he tinks a lot dat, a la cratch tea. Says he, won't my ol' mammy be pleased to hear dat? Jackals sees he's on de wrong side de fence dis time. Well, I suppose we'll to do something, says he. Now, you put de gum deer on dat stone at de tree root and I'll stand off here and tell you. Right says Liliki. Here's de gum, and he swings down and plants it on de stone, but he don't leave it. By Jiminy, says Jackals at dat. But he sees he's on de spike right, and he'll haddo be honest if he's a gun, to get dat gum. So he up and tell young Lilicky how he done wid wolf and de Bessie berries when de menspreiter had 'em. All you has to do den, says he, when you goes up into de tree wid you, broder, is to eat all de gum you picks Yusuf and den swap you, Calaba's foe, his when he ain't lookin'. Den you'll be all right, and he'll get de shambakin when you takes de calabashes down to you, daddy. Dat do sound mighty smart, says Lilicky, like he's admirin' it immense. But, just as Jackals is makin' one fair old dive for him and, de gum, he grabs it up and skips right up into de tree agin. Jackals look up at him, and he look down at Jackals. "Tank you, says he. Here I thought I'd to pay dis gum for you tellin' me something, but now, well, now, I'll scoff at myself." Jackals just had his mouth open to shout like mad when he see de gum go up de tree, but dat last words young Lilicky stonish him dat much he stop right short. "What's dat little lot fo?" says he. "What fo?" For instance, says young Lilicky, bitten at de gum till de clear part run all down his chin. Jackals down below fair ramp on his hind legs agin at dat. "Didn't I tell you what I said I'd tell you, you skellum?" "Did you, Billy says Lilicky, bitten some more gum. "You said you'd tell me how to get me all de gum and my broder all de shambakins. But my broder ain't no fool, wolf. Deer ain't no time when he ain't a-lookin', so deer ain't no chongin' calabashes wid him. He's just as smart as rock aloes, and he'd about knock all de hair off me de first time I tried it. So here eats de gum I's gotten chance it fo more." "Didn't you say you could knock de pips off him any day?" shouts Jackals. "Yes. But didn't you notice dat he wan anywhere in hearin' when I said it?" Says Lilicky. "Well, I's got you, anyway," says Jackals. "You'll to come down out dat tree sometime, and here I'll be ready." "Dat's just all right," says Lilicky. "My daddy and de rest de Bavayans is comin' dis way in a bit. Den perhaps you'll stop some more dan you want to." Jackals skip round to look, and dear he catch a glimp de roughy snappy ol' scout dat leads de Bavayans when dey's feedin'. "And didn't Jackals get out dat's all. Well, he slink off over de rise and sit him down to tink how he's a gun to get even wid young Lilicky. But young Lilicky he just swings down out de mispel tree and slants off to de rest de Bavayans, and gins to turn over de stones scorpions and tarantulas and all the rest de titbits de Bavayans likes. By-and-be day comes to a place where deer's some big old dorn trees, fair sticky wid de gum runnin' out 'em. Young Lilicky he looks up at de gum and he looks at his daddy, and he tinks here's just a good old chance gum if he can work it. Den he tink and he study and he wunner, till at last he smack hissif in de ribses, he's got it. "Daddy," says he to Bavayan, "you'd like to get a chance at dairy Jackals, wouldn't you?" "Wouldn't I just," says his daddy, his eyes fair shinin' red. "Well, daddy," says young Lilicky, and he look as slim as next week, "here's you chance. You sees all dis gum. Now if you gets it all and smears it all over me, yards tick, and den gives me a big ol' lump of it in my hand and sets me on a stone in de sun, while all de rest o' you feed away till you gets over de rise. Well, I'll soon get jackals for you. How you do dat? Ax de ol' daddy, sort o' tryin' to guess where de young fella's tryin' to sell him. You'll see right enough, if you watches, S's Lilicky. And you'll to watch like Teeves, and come a scootin' and a boundin' when I shouts. Dear won't be no time to catch tings out o' you, tail on de way. Well, Bavayan he look at young Bavayan, and he weigh it all up and he wonner, and while he's a doin' dat young Lilicky sort o' knock up against dat sore tail of his daddy's. Dat settle it. Bavayan he wants jackals, and he wants him very bad, and if de young fella tinks he knows of a plan, why, he's about as smart a young Bavayan as dear is in de copies, so he'll let him try anyway. So dey gets all dis gum, sticky ol' gum, and dey rubs it into young Lilicky's hair, and dey daubs and dey plasters and dey piles it on till at last he's just dat tick wid de gum he can't stir. Den dey sits him nice and comfy on a nice big stone, and dey puts a whackin' ol' chunk o' half-baked gum in his hand in front of his mouth, and dear dey leaves him. Now dis is de time young Lilicky expected to get in his work on de gum. He reckoned he'd be just wolfin' down dat gum, first de big chunk in his hand and, next, to scrape hissif clean o' what's on him. But ol' sun had a say in dis effum above, and de hot stone had a say in it effum below, till, for de rest o' de Bavayans had got out o' sight, de gum was dat sticky dat he couldn't stir hand or leg. Not so much as wiggle his head. And dar's jackals a creepin' and a peepin' and a watchin' him. For jackals he'd been just dat mad he'd followed on otter de Bavayans, just as young Lilicky made de rest tink he would. But Lilicky hadn't reckoned he was a gun, to be stuck like dis. He'd reckoned he'd be finis eatin' de gum while jackals, you'd be waitin' for de rest to get far enough off, and dat, you'd give him just de right time to be skippin' back out o' dat. Whereas, here he was. And here was jackals too, just a dancin' and a prancin'. I's got you dis time, says he. I's got you at last, gum and all. Won't I just teach you? Young Lilicky nearly busted a tryin' to loose hissif, and when jackals seen how fast he was, he just sit down and open his mouth and lick his chops. Look at my teeth, says he. Now I has you. Young Lilicky tried to let a yell out o' him for his daddy to come and heap him, but his yaws was just dat bunged up wid gum dear wan no openin' dem needer. Ain't you nice and fat, says jackals, watchin' him and grinnin'. Just feel here where I's gun, to take de first bite, says he, and he digs young Lilicky in de ribs wid his right han. But just about dat time he cang pull dat hand away to dig young Lilicky somewhere else. You make loss my hand, says he, mighty snappy. Make it loss, or I'll biff de pips off you, says he, and he smacks his toter hand agin Lilicky's ribses to give him a stand to get de odor away. And, right dear dat's fast too. Jackals's ears begin to stick up. Allah crachty, Says he, if you don't make loss my fisties I'll yest knock 7 kinds o' chicken feet out o' you. Make loss, you skellum. But young Lilikki Ani wished he could make loss, or do anything else but just sit and say nothin', and wish his daddy was comin'. Den Jackal's eyes begin to stick out wid, fraid o' dis Baviyanki dat holds him and is nothin'. He tinks if he don't get his hands loose somethin's a gun to happen, by de Jiminy. Says he, grindin' his teeth, if you don't lemme loss dis minute, I'll bite you, bally head off. Wid dat he makes a reglar dive, teeth first, to scoff young Lilikki's head off, but he's in such a sweat he grabs de chunk o' gum in de hand instead, and dear he is, bofe hands fast and his head fast, and here's Bavayan and Lilikki's broder just a flyin' dis way nowadays got Jackals fast. Jackals sees 'em comin' and he hears 'em car rackin' and bar rackin', and he just puts every hair o' him into one mighty ol' wrench or else he's done for. Something had to come, something did, deceit o' young Lilikki's hide. For Jackal's gien such a turble ol' yank, and de stone set back wid such a turble ol' stick fast, dat young Lilikki flew one way wid Jackals, and de seat of his hide stayed de oder way wid de gum on de stone. Tore off wid a rip like a yard o' calico. De stone just sot tight and shined like he's smilin', but Jackals he whirloo round deer like a fireworks. And about dat time Bavayan and de oder young Bavayanki made deer dive for him. Well, you never did see no sich a mix-up. For Jackals he see dat dive just in time, and he yanks tings round so dey dives not into him but into young Lilikki, and dear day is, just as fast as he is, and all pullin' de roots out to get loose agin in different directions. But it heap Jackals all de same. Two o' dem pullin' dat way and him pullin' dis, de two o' dem was bone to be strongest, and dey gi us one a la crachty of a yank till dey fair tears, not demselves, but young Lilikki, loose from Jackals. And you can see to dis day how all de long hair was tore off his paws and his yaws so bad it never grow long any more, ended old Hendrik solemnly. But, protested Annie, what happened then when Jackals got loose? Why dear wan nothin' to happen, returned old Hendrik in a little astonishment. Jackals was loose, dat was what he was oughter, so he went home and sit down. But Bavayan he was just dat proud young Lilikki bein' so smart as to catch. Jackals dat way, dat it set de fashion to leave de seat you hide on a gummy stone, and dat's how it comes dat all de Bavayans has a cobbler's patch to sit down on nowadays. It ain't for pretty but for proud dey wears it. So now you knows why, ended old Hendrik solemnly. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.